So back in the late 90s, my stepmother worked at Blockbuster Video and she gave me one rental per week, and I always got a PlayStation game. And one week I got this game and I've literally not seen it since. So for the first time in 28 years, let's check out music for the PlayStation. Some of you may have seen my video from last week where I checked out Dance EJ, so let's see how this compares. It's literally from 1 year later. This is the main interface of music, and as you can see, you've got the tracks going down the side. We've got a total of 16 tracks, and then this last track is for the BPM. So what I thought we could do is try and put together a drum and bass track. So I'm going to change this BPM to 174. And I have no idea what this is going to sound like, but let's give it a try. So on track 1, I want to put a kick here. So the way you do it is if you press the L1 button, you get into this sound browser and you can see you've got different genres and then different categories. So we've got the ambient, all different sounds for ambient. And if we go over to the next genre, you're going to see it's drum and bass. So let's have a look for a kick drum. Big floor 1. Big floor 2. Let's have a listen to the normal drum loops and see if they actually sound like D&B. You can go into, it says here, R1 riff editor. So here's the riff editor, and we can get rid of some of these and try to make it sound a bit less chaotic. I literally want to make the standard D&B pattern, so I'm just going to get rid of most of these. I can put a kick there. All right, let me play this. All right, perfect. Now it's working. So with a bit of luck, this is my kick. I need to make a snare now, so go back into the sound browser. I mean, that's a loop that has snares in it, so I'm going to choose that, and then I'm just going to edit it to how I want it, basically, which will just be a snare on the 2 and 4. All right, so this is what my snare's sounding like. And let's get out of the riff editor. This is what my kick and snare is sounding like. Not too bad, really, to be honest. I mean, it's fiddly as hell, but you can actually put some stuff together. So let me get into the hi-hats then. So I've put together a bit of a hi-hat pattern, and we've got the main hat is 03, it's called Super Tight. And then you've got the other hat, which I've chosen Cheap Closed, and that's 05. So if we get out of this, I play the clip, it sounds like this. So I'm sort of using that 05 as like the shuffle. And then if we get out of everything and I play that with my kick and snare, it sounds like this. Which, not going to lie, actually sounds pretty good. Let's just put a crash somewhere. So wet splash. I'm starting to get the hang of the buttons now. So this is what we've got for my first 4 bars. Now, I could do with a way of like copying and pasting the whole lot. Oops, no, I don't want to do that. But you select all that, copy it, and then paste it like that. Perfect. Amazing. So now we've got 8 bars of D&B. Let's go into the browser, go over to pads. Not bad. Maybe I'll use soft. Select it. See, the PlayStation is a little bit slow, but now I can go into the riff editor. So here you can see what the sound is actually called. It's called Ooh Fifth. And how do I go down to the lower octave? All right. So how about this little chord structure? So let's go back into the browser and have a look for a bass. And here are the drum and bass basses to choose from. Let's try Overload. What I'm hoping for is there's like just a standard sub bass that I can reprogram. And that was alright, but it was very clicky. I wonder if it's possible to change the attack. Sub sweep. Sub drop. Alright, sub sweep was pretty good. Sine bass 1 is the actual name of the sound. It's pretty interesting. So I started off on a F, I believe. And I've only got a 1-bar clip here, so now I need to figure out how to make this longer. Right, I'm pretty happy with the drums and the pad. I do need to figure out how to do a bass line, so I'm going to pause the camera and I'm going to figure out how to do the bass line, and I'll be with you in just a second. All right, people, I'm back, and it's been a couple of days, and I've probably put about 5 hours work into my tune so far. So I'm going to show it to you in just a moment. But first of all, you may have noticed how my webcam is taking up this little portion of the bottom left of the screen. And you may have wondered what's being covered up there. So if I just fade away, you're going to see it's actually just a blank screen. So what's that blank screen all about? Well, there's a couple of functions for it. Number one, if we go into the riff editor, there are some extra controls for things like volume and panning and the attack and decay of the sampler, etc. So that's one function of it, but the main function of this little screen down here is the music video maker. So if I press the R1 button, that takes us into this separate timeline, which is red instead of blue. And you can see that on the tracks, I've got all these different clips. Let's go into the browser and see all the different things you can choose. We've got shapes, and then you can basically choose a shape, and then you can do things to it, like scale makes it bigger and smaller. Rotation obviously makes it spin round. Path just makes it move around the screen. Particles are like some sparkly stars and stuff like that that appear on the screen. And then you can choose the lighting, the camera angle, the background. So you can choose all these different things to put together your music video. Now, on the right side of the screen, you might have noticed there's these bars, like the red, blue, green, yellow, and purple bars. Now, I don't know specifically what each one of those means, but what I can tell you is that basically they are the RAM memory of the PlayStation. And the more elements you add to your tune and to your music video, the more of your memory you use up, and eventually it will run out. If you're someone who's epileptic and you're affected by flashing lights, I recommend looking away now, because I'm about to show you my music video, which consists of pure flashing lights. So without further ado, here is the track that I put together in music for the PlayStation. In last week's video, I asked you what other old school software I should cover, and many people said Music 2000, but I thought I'd do the original music first, so next week I'll do Music 2000. And if you want to see last week's video about Dance EJ, check it out here. And if you want to see a video about the first ever Ableton Live, it's that one there. I'm DJ Grace, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.